What's up guys, this is Matt with Flagstaff Camera and we're doing something a little different today. As you may be able to tell, there is a change of scenery. It's the same room, there's just a different backdrop. And I'm sitting facing the other way. And today I want to do less of the like camera tips and tricks and more of just like talking about the photo industry, the photo world, the news, the answering questions that you guys have given us and showing you a little bit of what goes on behind the scenes in terms of what happens in the lab. It's really difficult sometimes for me to get video of what happens in the lab because it happens fast and it's kind of a tight space. We got ourselves a little GoPro and so I recorded a little bit of what's been going on so you can see what's up. Anyway, we'll start things off with some photo news, some things that are happening in the photo world. I should probably just call this section old news because I don't keep up with things that are new ever. But I like sort of crawl through the internet and through the YouTubes and find cool stuff that people have been coming out with and I want to share with you. So we'll start with this section here. Should you shoot film in 2022? Yeah, obviously. Why would you not shoot film in 2022? Yes, it's expensive, blah, 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 blah. Homeboy here puts together this great video with all of his cameras, and he's talking about why you should shoot film, whether you should shoot film, if it's a great idea, if it's a bad idea. It's a fun little video, well produced. Homeboy just straight up kills it with all of his cameras and stuff. I'm not gonna like play his whole video, but go check him out. Imran. Go just subscribe, notifications, because that's what you do, right? So check that one out, that's a cool one. We'll link all of the linkers in the link place in the description, so you can go check those out. So yes, you should shoot film in 2022, that was easy. Another thing I was checking out is Homeboy, who I've never met, but someday I will meet. Ben Horne does this thing where he goes on these awesome photo trips, shoots large format, shoots a little bit of digital, like, you know, whatever, but mostly 8x10, mostly slides like a badass, and he shoots video of like the whole trip, and then he sits down and with this sort of very soothing voice does this beautiful, like, poetry. It's not poetry, but he writes a good script and he reads it and he talks to you about the trip and what's been going on, and it's so fucking soothing and this like beautiful experience of watching someone kick ass with photography and have this super like zen out moment. So I've been watching his videos. This is from Zion from fall of 2021. He does a couple of episodes for each trip that he goes on and kind of walks you through what he's shooting, why he's shooting it, how his compositions look. You get to see inside the viewfinder of his 8x10, which is like inside out and upside down, and what his setup looks like and how much bellows he's got racked out. Super cool. You know, obviously not sponsored. He does this cool thing where he's not really sponsored by anyone either. He just goes out and shoots, which I think the world could use more of. Since I'm picking up 8x10 this year as my main camera of the year, hopefully, I've been enjoying these. And so it's a little less frenetic and psychotic than my videos, much more zen and super chill, and you get to see cool places like Death Valley and Zion and wherever else Ben goes. So definitely check out Ben's videos. You do the subscribe thing, right? And then you do the click the belly icon thing, and then you get notified every time a video comes out, which you should do for channels that you like. Anyway, there's another one that I thought was interesting on Petapixel, which I don't pronounce Petapixel. This photographer goes through editing a shoot that he does like a proper production shoot with like assistants and lights of his cat in his apartment or like in a studio that looks like it could be his apartment. Steve Winter is like a badass homie. It's worth checking out. I don't know, I feel like the video dragged out a little bit, but that's life. What do? You know, shit happens. But that was kind of fun, and it also a lot of the photographers I see, especially the ones shooting film, struggle with the edit. How do I take my 36 images and cull them down into something that doesn't suck? Because a lot of people just post the whole take, and the whole take is not usually the answer. So he kind of walks through his system. I don't know. Worth seeing. This is probably the most useful internet YouTube thing that I've seen in a long time. Getting scans back from your lab that are color corrected wrong or that are color corrected strangely. Homeboy Linus in his camera here has this killer Lightroom trick. I tried it with scans that I did here and got great results. I tried it color correcting a couple of prints that I photographed that needed to be restored. Worked great. It's not difficult. And he walks you through the whole thing, but basically you take an image that's colored a little strangely, courtesy of Negative Lab Pro or however you scan your images, and you just fix it in like one quick thing in Lightroom. He's using tone curve and playing with the RGB values in tone curve. Super cool. Definitely worth a subscribe and a little notification shenanigans for channels that you like. Super cool one. Love that one. A while back, I talked about my brain just shut off. I talked about camera repairs and specifically CLAs. What is a CLA? Blah, blah, blah. You can find that over there somewhere. I've had a really tough time finding somebody who can do a CLA on good gear, who can do it in a reasonable turnaround, and can do it for what I consider to be a reasonable amount of money. Sometimes it feels like you got to pick one of those things, and picking one of those things sucks. I've had gear at places that will remain unnamed for 8 months. I've had gear that goes somewhere and is repaired, but they don't communicate that to me or invoice me or tell me when it's coming back or even send it back. Anyway, this guy doesn't have that problems. Jim owns International Camera Technicians, which is a little bit of a mouthful, but he works on all kinds of cool old gear. I sent him a full Hasselblad kit. He sent it back to me completely repaired with photographs of what the inside of the camera looked like in 2 weeks for the same price as the other guy. This is other people that I've looked into. So, not sponsored, hashtag whatever. Guy's a badass. He repairs Nikons, he repairs lenses, he works on Hasselblads, he works on Mamiyas, he works on large formats. He's got all kinds of stuff that he does and doesn't work on here on his website. But I loved that he was like taking photos with his iPhone of my Hasselblad as it was stripped into 1,000 pieces. Like, hey, somebody obviously took this to the desert and I cleaned a bunch of sand out of it, or, you know, whatever it was. I think it was mostly just dust. But highly recommend this guy. He's my new go-to for all camera CLA related things. International Camera Technicians. Jim, you killed it, man, and super stoked on that. And I am not answering the phone today because I'm doing something else. Anyway, what else do we got in the news? Oh, this was fun. The best 35mm cameras to buy in 2022. Sorry, I gotta get rid of this phone. Petapixel, again. These are great because they're not the cameras you expect. They're not the Contax G2. They're not the high-end, very expensive, Instagram famous cameras. Homie's like, the best ultra bargain SLR, buy this Yashica FX103 program, which I'd never even heard of. I mean, who buys Yashicas? But he gives you a good reason. The Yashicas uses the CY, the Contax Yashica mount, which means you can use frickin' Contax Zeiss glass on your $100 SLR. Spend as little money on the camera as you can. Take bitchin' photographs. What's not to love about that? He's got this killer list that just goes through like all the, yes, you can buy the EOS 1V or the Nikon F6. Okay, sure, if you've got whatever, $2,500 to spend on a film camera, go nuts. Love that. But he's also got like the piddly little plastic peel apart point and shoot cameras that you find in frickin' Savers or Goodwill or, you know, random thrift shops for like $1. And he's like, oh yeah, this is the best compact 35mm camera you're ever gonna shoot. And like, for instance, the Olympus XAs, love the Olympus XAs. I shoot those on vacations all the time. They're incredible. If you can find one, that can be difficult. But anyway, those are cool. And then here's one that is not on a photo whatever world. I found this on Wired. Grayscale mode on your phone, which is kind of strange. But in the olden days, when you were shooting black and white, you used to be able to buy like a little monocle sort of viewer looking thing that would turn the world around you into black and white magically. It turns out you could do that on your phone, on your iPhone, your Android, whatever. I mean, obviously iPhone's better. Don't hate me, guys. I'm an iPhone kind of guy, right? But so I've got my phone here and it's in color. It's got my beautiful fall photos. You can see all the stupid apps that I have on it, right? There's two tricks that I combined here. There's the accessibility shortcut, which the article link talks about. And then there's the shortcut you can use on iPhones where you can either double or triple tap on the back of the phone to make it do a thing. So for instance, on this one, it's not gonna do it because we're on video, but if I double tap, it turns the phone black and white, which is super cool. So now I have a black and white viewer. If I combine that with the camera, hello, I'll take a video. I wonder if it shoots the video. It doesn't shoot the video. It's just a viewer, right? So there's me on my black and white phone camera thing and turns the world around me into black and white, which I think is cool. We'll just take a picture of this is what behind the scenes of this production looks like. Say hi, Alex. Yay, okay, perfect. If you're not sure how an image is gonna look in black and white and you're like hanging out and you're like, okay, is this gonna look good? Just switch your phone into black and white with a quick tap. And then you tap and it goes back to color. How cool is that? I also have set, there's a double tap and a triple tap. I have my triple tap, there's no way I'm gonna be able to say this. I have my triple tap set to do a color inversion. So 1, 2, 3. And it turns the screen into negative, which is great if you've got your color negatives or even your black and white negatives on a light table, and you can flip it into into inverted and look at the positives without having to get your scans done properly. Two shortcuts that are built into iPhone. 1, 2, 3. Come on, 1, 2, 3. There it goes, back to color. Two shortcuts that are built into iPhone and are mostly also, I think, Android, that are just like super useful photography hacks. So yeah, I thought those were kind of cool. Wired talks about turning your phone into grayscale to curb your phone addiction. I don't want to curb my phone addiction. I want to make my phone useful. Also, Instagram in black and white is better. If you're just like cruising through Instagram and you just double tap and make everything black and white, you're like, oh, so much better. That's memes in black and white. That's much better. Anyway, that's the news things that I have found on the internet. So, good job. Let's try this, and you can tell me what you think. Here's a little bit of lab time. We'll just go check out what I was doing earlier this week or last week or some week in the lab. Go. Welcome to lab time, where we do stuff in the lab. Today, we're gonna do something very interesting. You see I have a stack of printers, and I'm gonna convert one of them from color to piezoography. Piezoography. Say it however you want. First thing I gotta do, or the first thing I did, was I bought this color printer, which is cool, but all the heads were clogged on it, which was a known feature mostly. And so the first thing I did was put a huge stack of piezoography flush, which looks like this. And you basically run that through all the lines, and you put it in every cart on the printer. So let's just see what that looks like, right? Looks like this. So I've got all these carts in here, and they're all filled with pink stuff. And so I've done 1,000 little head cleanings and stuff with them. So it's time for all of these to come out. And we're gonna put instead in the printer the contents of this beautiful box, which are all new carts and all new inks. So that's the project for today. Gloves, because I'm gonna make a mess. And believe it or not, ink wants to absorb into everything, including your hands and your clothes and everything else. So here we go. Put that in there, go. So the theory here is there's a little syringe boy they give you, and you can stick this in the port where the printer pulls the ink and prime it. That's the theory. So you kind of like hold it and you kind of like pull the goodies out. That was just air. Looks like I'm gonna purge a lot of air from this little plastic bag. It's hard to tell, but there's the inside of this thing, so there's a plastic cart, and inside the cart is a plastic bag. Once I pull the air out, I should be set.
One eternity later.
I'm dumb, Taylor is smart. Here's the technique, here's how it goes. Got your cartridge right side up, and then rotate. And you'll watch the ink fill that little channel right there. Ta-da! Jesus. Why's it gotta be so easy and so hard at the same time? Okay, next step. Printer is full of these pink cartridges, the piezo flush, and it's gotta go. So, printer is off, and you just pull all of these out. Okay, here's another feature. Doesn't see an ink cartridge. Maybe I didn't get in all the way. Chip looks good. Please wait. Do that and probably reset the chips as many times as necessary. Not so bad. Okay, so we are ready. Epson warns us that we have non-genuine cartridges. Of course, we like that. That's a feature. May avoid our warranty. These printers have been out of warranty for so long that who cares? Avoiding warranties is my specialty. So, we'll let this thing click and buzz and whir and do its thing, and then we'll start running some power cleaning cycles. One thing led to another, and I ended up losing the rest of the day, basically. But during the day, we've been doing power cleanings on this, and you can see. All right, so we'll start over here. This is what the lines look like filled with flush, except for the one that's gone black already. And you can see here, that's the transition as I'm running my power cleanings from flush to black. And so eventually the whole printer will go from pink to black like this, and then I'll be ready to start making actual prints. You can see too, I got a couple air bubbles in there. That's always fun. Hopefully those take care of themselves. I've done 4 or 5 of these power cleanings, and I don't know, maybe less than halfway there. So this one's gonna take a while. Big old printer, lots of line left still to clear of flush. But that's a project for another day, or a project that will continue until it's done. And then I'll get to start making big 44-inch piezography prints and negatives. Anyway, that was lab time. Here's another new thing we're gonna try. Some of you amazing people leave comments in the comment section where comments go. And some of those things are questions. So we're going to do a little FAQ, a little, you know, I keep getting asked the same questions and it's easier to answer them in a video than to reply to every comment. Sound good? Okay, so a question we get a lot is how big can you make such and such and such and so forth, right? How big can you do piezo in this case? How big, or piezo, how big can you do platinum? How big can you do silver? How big can you do color? Do you do XYZ process? So, good question, Jordan. Right now, I'm in the middle, as you may have just seen, unless you skipped that chapter, in which case, shame on you, of converting a 44-inch piezo printer. It's a process. It is ongoing. But when it's done, I will be able to make 44-inch by as long as you want. 44 by 96, 44 by 200, 44 by however long the roll of paper comes. Piezoography prints. That also means I'll be able to do the same thing for digital negatives, which is awesome. So color's the same size. I have the exact same printer. It's just the duplicate of the same thing that does it in color, so huge. Bigger than anyone really wants to print, 44 by as long as you want. Then silver gelatin, we're limited by the size of the base of our enlarger and how high we can physically get the 10 by 10 head, because I don't have a horizontal projection enlarger. That'll be in my next building. But we're at 40 by 60 for silver gelatin. It's not comfortable to do 40 by 60, but it can be done and we've done them. So there's that. Platinum right now is 44 by 96. I'm limited there by the size of the tray that I process things in and by the light table and the UV exposure unit that I have. Both of the pieces that I have for those were custom made. And so 44 by 96 is about as big as they go. And if you would like to make a 4 foot by 8 foot platinum, please tell me. I would love to do that for you. We have a video coming soon, or maybe it's already up. There's no way to know what order these will come out in, of the 4 foot by 8 foot platinum that I made for myself for Christmas, because why not? So check that out, or wait till it comes out and then check it out. Okay, beautiful, good. What else? What else? Prince of the week, more videos like this. That's happening. I still want to do the Prince of the week. I want to add to it though. I want to have you guys show me your prints. Mailing them to me would be expensive. You doing like a recording of like the prints you've been making at home and then sending that to us, either IG, I think YouTube would be better. That would be cool. Maybe we could start like a Discord server or something and have everybody talking about all the cool prints that they're making. I'd love to do that. I love the community aspect of printing, even though most printers end up just holing up in their dark rooms and staying there. Or even in your regular lab, like, you know, if you're printing inkjets, that's bitchin'. I'd love to see your prints. So I'm gonna start putting a segment on future what I'm printing this week videos, which we'll maybe have to rename what we're printing this week. And I want to see your videos. I want to see what's going on. I want to see what you're printing. So, and if you have cool prints, I'll feature you and like we'll link to places where people can find out about you. How's that? So that'll be cool. What else happens? Here's another one. Homeboy AO, which is a great name. I don't know what your name is, but AO is great. Asked, he was the inspiration behind the piezo versus platinum video. So he asks here, given how closely piezo and platinum resemble each other, and given the price difference, what would be the reason to go with platinum over piezo, other than bragging rights? Bragging rights is one of them. Platinum is also going to last longer, probably. We know that platinum metals are noble metals and that they'll last a really long time. We know that they're embedded in the fibers of the paper rather than in an inkjet layer on top of the paper, which is a piezo thing, just like all inkjets. So platinum's gonna last longer. You can expect an easy 1,500 years out of a platinum print. Piecography, nobody really knows. It's only been around since the dude invented it in like the 80s or 90s. So I know that John has had tests done that like force age or replicate aging on that process. I don't remember what the results were other than it was way more stable than standard color inkjet, which duh. But platinum lasts a long time, and because it's embedded in the fibers of the paper, it has a different luminance than something that's sitting in a inkjet acceptance emulsion layer on top of the paper. So they do look different, and they really look different in person when you're able to like really get up close to them. That being said, piezo gets you real close for way less money. So I'll typically proof in piezo until I'm ready to go for platinum. So, both good for different reasons, right? Okay, good, yes. Bragging rights though, also are beautiful. Okay, this is one I see a lot. Platinums are real pretty, but damn, they're expensive. Yes, they are. I was thinking about doing a print giveaway where we do like, once I reach a certain number of subscribers, say like 1,000, right? Because 1,000 lets me turn off the ads, which I'd love to do. I don't want you guys having to watch ads. I want to turn them off. Once I get to 1,000 subs, maybe we'll do a platinum print giveaway, and I'll give away an image of yours. So like whoever wins, you send me your image and I print it at like 11 by 14 in platinum. So once we get to 1,000 subs, I will randomly select a subscriber to get an image of theirs printed for free. How's that sound? Yes? Let's do it. I think that'd be fun. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, why your film is coming back blank for 120? We're gonna do that one. That's on the list. Yeah, if you have questions, put them in the comment section. And then in future videos, I'm gonna try and do this whole series of like news and what's going on in the lab and FAQs like once a week. In addition to the other videos we've been doing where I talk about like why your film's coming back blank and why you shouldn't use watermarks and everything else. So yeah, put your questions down in the thing down below. And I think this was definitely a long enough video, and I'll let you guys go. And we'll see you in the next video.